Hello, can you hear me? Just confirm if you can hear me. Confirm on WhatsApp. I need to know if you can hear me. Just confirm on WhatsApp. Is my voice loud and clear? Okay, okay, most people can hear me. I hope I'm not wasting your data bundles, but can we just give 5 minutes to, yeah, can we just give 5 minutes to get more people in the group? Please, 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 please. Let's see. Just 5 more minutes. I don't know why people are taking so long. Tell them we need to start now. By the way, can you guys see me as well? You can't see me. Okay, let's fix that. Mm. Okay. Okay, 3 minutes to go, guys. 3 minutes. 3 minutes to go. Hello, who's there? Okay, it's 8:15 now. We got to start. Let's start, guys. Let's start. I can hear someone, but it's not speaking. If you can hear me, please say a word. Yeah. I want to hear you guys. Just say anything. I'm not hearing you, but I can hear that someone is there. Hello? Say something. Okay, let's start. Let's start, guys. Just speak. Say anything. Hello? I'm speaking. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's start, guys. Um, I just wanted to introduce you to what we call fund. Okay, just to those that are in here, just confirm how far have you gone with your understanding of the forex markets? Can you place a trade? Are you using technical analysis? Are you using fundamental analysis? What are you using? Hello, is anybody home? Guys, I can see you, but you're not responding. Now, I'm not sure if I should go on because you guys are just quiet. Hello? Okay, okay, no problem. No problem, it's fine. I'll just start. I'll just start. Okay, so do me a favor. If I ask anything, just respond on WhatsApp. Please do that. Like, I just want to understand so far, how have you been trading? Are you using technical analysis? Are you using fundamental analysis? Or you just still on the basic stuff? Like, yeah. because I want to introduce you guys to, yeah, I want to introduce you to the fundamental side, fundamental analysis, right? Which is what I use mostly, in fact, all the time. Uh, can I have an answer, please? Um, so somebody's phone just rang. I can hear that person, but that person is not speaking. Somebody's phone just rang. Amanda, it's good. Just tell me, if the voice is not clear, then I will connect a microphone. I thought the voice was clear because that was the first question that I asked. I can't hear your voice. But can you hear me? Sandile, can you hear me at all, or you just can't hear a thing? Sandile, can you Okay, they say the voice is not clear. Um, okay, I'll just bear with me. Let me connect my microphone then, because okay, just a second. Um, okay, some say my voice is not clear, and then some say they can hear me loud and clear. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just gonna connect this, and hopefully everything is gonna be fine. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay, guys, let's start. We've wasted about half an hour already. I'm just gonna start. Bear with me if you cannot hear me clearly. Just try and listen. Is that okay with you guys? Just try and listen, please, because this stuff is really important. Like, seriously. Okay, cool stuff. The so the first thing is that, uh, as you know, trading is broken down mainly into two parts: the technical analysis side as well as the side of the fundamental analysis. Usually, most retail traders, when they're beginning this journey on the forex industry, um, they're usually exposed to the technical analysis because that's the material that's being offered on almost every course that you can take out there, right? But you'll find that most of the stuff that is available on those courses, most of it is outdated. Some of the strategies they teach you are strategies that used to work back in the tech boom, back in the 2000s when the World Wide Web just came along, or during the financial crisis of 2008, like stuff like that. All the chart patterns, they say no voice now. Now I'm confused because someone is saying, look, people are saying they can hear me, and at the same time, someone is saying no voice. So I'm really confused now. Um, Miss Matlali, can you please confirm, uh, guys, can you hear me? Just a simple question. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Look, Sandile can hear me, but at the same time, Miss Sarafina says she cannot hear me. Okay, just a second. Let's see what the problem might be. Uh, okay, people can hear me. Um, okay, cool. Okay, so let's continue while she tries to fix that. Um, So yeah, as I was saying, the fundamental analysis part is a part that is used by mostly professional traders because they try to understand what actually drives the price movements, right? uh, in technical analysis, you are taught. Okay, now she can hear me. Okay, that's wonderful. So, in technical analysis, you are taught a bunch of chart patterns that you should look out for. For example, head and shoulders, wedges, and flags, and all that. But what actually makes the price to move in those fashion is not really the patterns, but rather the yeah, it's not really the patterns, but rather the actual fundamentals pushing the price. So I'm going to introduce you to what is known as the economic calendar, right? If you go to let's do this. If you go to okay, if you go to Forex Factory, mm, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. No, 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 not that, not that, not that, not that, not that, not that. This, this is what I want to share. Okay. Just a second, guys. Let me share my screen with you. Uh, Let me share this part of the screen. Yeah, now that's what I want to share. Okay, so if you go to, if you say www.forexfactory.com, as you can see right here, forexfactory.com. Um, Here, this is what is known as an economic calendar. Why economic? Because it lists, in fact, most of the important price movement economic events. For instance, there's something known as the PMI and the CPI, GDP, interest rates, and all that. All those things are the ones that uses or actually drive the price in any direction, right? Because the trend might be going up and something economic fundamental may just change the trend, uh, like reverse it completely. For instance, we have PMIs. Okay. So I just want to introduce you to this site, Forex Factory, right? Maybe next week we are going to talk a lot more about the actual economic events, but I just want you to get used to working with this Forex Factory economic calendar. Uh, well, many sites offer the economic calendar, but I prefer you use this one because it's pretty simple if you are still starting out, right? So, as I said, it lists economic events. For instance, right here you have the currency, right? So they will tell you that on Monday, August 1, right? You had okay. Just before I forget, please, when you use this, go to the time right here on your top right corner. Click on it. Let me just do it with you. So I want you to change the time zone, right? So say wherever you are, wherever time zone that you'll be using, you can say automatically detect, or you can choose the time zone that you'll be using, which I presume most of you will be using the same one, which is GMT +2. Make sure the DST is off, then click save. Then you will notice now the time of this calendar is now matching the time in my computer, which is exactly what you want. Because when you go back to the calendar, you will notice that the time listed on these may not be exactly the time, your time zone. So you have to change that. That's the first thing. Okay, next up, the basic. Um, there's a lot of economic events that will be moving the prices, right? But not all of them. Some of them may be a big event, but not big enough to cause a major price movement that will be visible enough to you as a forex trader. So the analysts actually try to simplify things easier for us by color coding these events, ranking them according to their impact on the forex markets. For instance, red, as you may guess, is the most important. It tells us that these news, this manufacturing PMI from China, that will be mostly it will be very disturbing to the market, right? So it should be, for instance, the focus uh, on this was a Monday event. So on your right, you have the actual, the focused, and the previous. So this is how this works, right? Um, they will predict a figure that will come out before it even come. Let's say the news were on Monday. If you were to log in like the previous Saturday or Sunday or even the previous Monday, you would have noticed that these figures would already be in the forecast as well as the previous, right? So what you want to understand is that these figures, actually, the forecast is what analysts have actually put together on average. Some people may think it's going to be 53. Some may think it's going to be 47.6 or something. And they take the average of the most prominent what do you call this? The most prominent analysts from firms like Bloomberg and Reuters and MNI and all those major firms that actually conduct these analysis of the markets as well as central banks, right? So they will then predict what the figure will actually be. For instance, this is PMI from China, right? And then right next to those figures, you have a column that says detail. This will actually brief you on what that economic event is actually about. And then if you click on that small icon that looks like an envelope to just unwrap that, it will actually pop up a window like this. And then it will tell you what the PMI is and what it's about. And usually, when the actual figure is greater than the forecast, then that's usually good for the currency. We'll go over that next week because I want you guys to understand exactly what is happening right here, right? For like, look at this, why traders care about this news event, uh, this PMI. They say it's a leading indicator of economic health. At the end of the day, anything that affects the currency affects the economy, right? So if this is an indicator of the health of the economy, obviously investors, forex traders, analysts, they'll all be looking at that figure, right? Businesses react to this quicker as well. Purchasing managers hold perhaps the most current and relevant insight into the company's view of the economy, right? So yeah, it's a very market moving event. So you as a forex trader have a duty to keep an eye on it, right? Uh, Perhaps if I were to try and check what might have happened, let me do this, right? So, so, so as you can see, are you still with me, guys? Are you still with me? Hello, are you still with me, guys? Tell me if I'm speaking Chinese, Mandarin, or if you guys would want me to slow down, or if you have any questions, just ask me. Ask me, because I get too excited and I end up thinking that you are all still with me in terms of understanding the stuff I'm talking about. So, any questions? Any questions so far? Okay. Any questions so far? I don't like it when people don't ask questions. Come on, guys, questions. Anything. Okay, so far, I guess you still understand the stuff, right? So, okay, that's that's fine. No, that's fine. Um, I'm gonna continue then. Let's continue then. Okay, that's fine. So, um, let's get back right to it. Let's get back right to it. Let's get back right to it. Right to it. Right to it. Right to it. Okay, so let me show you something, right? Let me show you something, right? So on Friday, which was yesterday, right? Because it's Saturday today. So on Friday, is there a question? Let me check. Okay, so going back to the economic calendar, right? Going back to the economic calendar. Can you guys see a bunch of reds around 2:30, the time 2:30? Can you see that we have red in the CAD as well as the USD? Okay, the CAD, we usually call it the CAD, which is the Canadian dollar, right? And the USD is, of course, the United States dollar, right? So these news are actually one of the most important news, right? Especially this one that I'm going to highlight, which is known as NFP in short, but it's actually non-farm payroll, right? Uh, but right here it's written as non-farm employment change. So to briefly explain to you, well, next week we're going to go over these economic indicators, but uh, to just explain what non-farm payroll actually uh, indicates or tells us, it's that, okay, in the United States, right, they are known as a very stable economy, right? So part of an economy is constructed by GDP, employment, as well as what do you call this? Interest rates, right? GDP, employment, interest rates, those are very important things, right? So non-farm payrolls actually tells us that this month, how many people actually got jobs in the United States? How many people got jobs? We actually counting from those people that were already in the jobs, how many people were added in the job market or in the job sector, right? So that's all, well, not all, but that's just the summary of what NFP tells you. It tells you how many people in the United States got jobs in that particular month. So this change is actually, well, the change is a good word to actually give you an understanding, because uh, from what they expect, uh, so go to your right and look at this, right? Uh, Previously, they added 292,000, right? The K stand for thousand. 292,000 jobs, right? Okay, but due to the fall in the United States, the value of, excuse me, the value of the United States dollar, and the economy not being stable at the time, they expected that there'll be lesser people being hired, right? So the analysts did their research, and they came up with this figure of 180, right? Overall, the analysts thought that 180 would be the actual figure to be hired or getting jobs in the United States. But in actual fact, they were wrong, because if you look at on the first column or the actual column, you can see here 255 people. So previously, it was 292, and then the analysts expect, due to the economy not being stable at the time, they expect that less people would be hired. But in actual fact, the actual results surprised everyone by being positive and actually being greater than the 180 that the analysts expect. So this also tells us something, that even the analysts cannot predict the market exactly. So you just got to educate yourself on that one. So the actual figure came out as 255,000. So it means that 255,000 people actually got jobs in the United States. So for you, what does that mean as a forex trader? Let's go to the charts now. Just a second. Let me swap screens here. Let me swap screens. I want you to see what this has done in the markets, right? What this has done in the markets. So this is my chart. So as you can see, the time was 2:30, right? As you can see down here, if you look on this cursor right here, the time is actually 14:30, 2016-805, which is yesterday, right? Um, so at the release, this was what happened in the first 30 minutes. But while the market was trying to digest what exactly uh, could this mean for the United States, right? So this is a classical example of understanding the deeper side of fundamental analysis, because look at this, right? Look at this. Let's go back to the economic calendar. This is what I want you to see. This is very crucial, guys. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Um, can you see my other screen? Let's go back to the calendar, right? Okay. Okay, now that we're on the calendar, this is what I want you to see, right? The actual figure, right, is 255, and it's green, it's colored green, right? Because it's actually more than the the predicted figure, which was 180, right? So that's why they've colored it green, and it's actually positive because they expected a low number, but in actual fact, a positive number actually came out, right? So if you look at it that way, that's actually a good thing for America, right? Because the United States, all the analysts trying to analyze what was happening in the markets at the time in the United States, they saw that everything was going bad in the US, right? So even the employment was going to drop, right? So they expected a low amount of 180, but in actual fact, they exceeded that amount very, very excessively by so to 255,000, right? Just a second, let me see what you guys are saying. Uh, okay, somebody wants to join, but ish, that's is kind of late, but anyway, let's try and send him the link. You are late, but not too late. Okay, by the way, am I still moving with all of you? Do you still understand what we've discussed so far? Right? Because this is the most important part. It's just this concept that I want you to understand. I'm trying to explain a very important concept, guys. Please, please, please pay attention. Um, okay, just to continue, because I know you guys are going to take forever to respond. Okay, so I wanted to show you this actually. Nope. This. So yeah, as we were discussing, guys, before FISO actually, I wouldn't say, okay, anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, so as I was saying, more people were hired than expected, right? Simple. Okay, so if you look at that, that's good news, right? You can see it's green, that's good news. So if it's good news for the United States dollar, right? It's good news for the United States dollar. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Are people buying more of the United States dollar if it's good news for the US, or are they selling the US dollar? Just answer that simple question. we see some good news on the United States dollar, right? Are people buying more of the United States dollar, or are they selling it? Buy or sell? Are we buying or are we selling? We see that our analysts actually expected 180,000 people to be hired, right? But in actual fact, 255,000 people were hired. So what do you do as a forex trader? Do you buy the USD or do you sell it? Just a simple logic, actually, not even anything that has to do with forex. Just logic, right? Basic stuff, right? So what do we do? Do we buy or do we sell? We've just seen some positive news. We've just seen some positive news on the USD. By the way, Sfiso, did you get the question? Like, do you understand where this is coming from since you only joined us now? Okay. Okay, Malusi is saying we buy the USD, but he's not explaining to me why he's buying the USD, right? And then Sandile is saying we buy the USD because the actual is greater than the forecast, which is good for the currency. Wow, I like that. Somebody learned something today. If you remember, let me tell you where Sandile is actually getting this from. He's paying attention and I like that. So this is where he got it from. Uh, Remember I said that you click on this detail icon for more info, right? And if you do that, for instance, let me just click here, like here, they're going to tell you that the usual effect, the actual is greater. If the actual is greater than the forecast, then that is actually good for the currency, right? Okay, so that's brilliant, right? So Sandile saw that and he's actually thinking that since the actual, as you can see, if I click on the NFP as well, if the actual is greater than the forecast, that's good for a currency. And that's exactly what he saw. The actual is 255, the forecast is 180. So that's good for the currency. Hence, he's saying we are buying the USD. Now, let's check. Now I'm going to show you how the market actually moved, right? Let's see how the market actually moved. Okay, 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 okay. Okay, now you can see my screen hopefully, right? So this was like, I hope you can see my cursor. Right here, this is actually called a crosshair, right? If you can see the time down below, it's actually 14:30, exactly the time of the release of the NFP. And as you can see, the market did not make major movements, right? So the currency, this is what I want you to pay attention. The currency I'm looking at is the euro versus the USD. It's called euro USD, right? So this Euro USD is actually saying that how much of the USD, like if you can look at these values on your left, right here, I mean on your right, sorry, 1.11, blah blah blah. All these values on your right are actually representing the amount of dollars that you need to buy €1, right? So I want you to understand that concept. These values on the right are telling you how much dollars USD, I mean, do you need to get one of the euro, €1. So right now you need 1.10854 to get one USD. I mean to get €1. So that's just what this chart is actually telling us. So if we go back to the time where we hadn't received the, 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 the okay, so look at this now. Look at this concept. I want you guys to actually learn. It's called buy the rumor, sell the fact. It's very known, well, among the professional traders, those who trade fundamental analysis though. So look at this now. From the open of the day, right? From here, um, people are actually doing what? They are selling the USD, right? As you can see, they are rather buying the euro with their USD, right? So they are selling the USD. Why are they selling the USD though, right? It is because, oh, let me just ask you, why are people selling? This is before we actually got the news, right? So I want to know, why are people selling the USD? What do you think is the reason, right? If you can get that, then I know you're paying attention. Why are people selling the USD even though they haven't received the actual news? Please answer my question. Okay, so I'll do that. Let me do that now. So, okay. Okay, you are in, so I've added you, I've added you, I've added you. Okay. Guys, I've asked a very important question that if you can get this right, then this whole webinar, you've understood it, right? Because I'm about to wrap it up. I want to explain the concept of buying the rumor and selling the fact, right? But I've asked you one thing, right? Um, if we look at the charts, uh, it's right. The last candle was on uh, 2:30, right? And that was the time the actual news were released. But before that, look at this. People are actually buying the euro and selling the USD. I just want to know why. Why is that? Why is that? Why are people selling the dollar, right? If you can answer that question, then I mean you've understood this. You've made me proud, at least I can say that. Why are people selling? Because there's just one thing that you may have missed, but I kept on stressing on it, so you shouldn't have missed it. Okay, look at this. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, Malusi is saying the forecast, right? Thank you, Mr. Mkize. That's brilliant, right? That's brilliant. Malusi is saying the forecast was lower than the previous, and the people believed that the USD will fall. You've made me proud, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Now, let's go back to the calendar and see what Malusi is actually referring to, right? Um, so, here's what Malusi is talking about, right? So, let's go back to our NFP, the most important news of the month, right? Uh, And I said, right at the top, you have the first column, right, with these little envelope looking like icons, is the detail part where if you click on those, this window will pop up and it'll explain more about the news, right? And then let's close that. Then the next column is actual, which is the figure that will be released when those news or the time of those news actually arrive. And then the forecast right in the middle is the prediction made by analysts, like professional analysts. I'm not talking about people like myself or you that can only analyze the markets using just our knowledge and observation of the market. But these are people who actually have access to bank statements and people who are actually studying the markets on detail, people who are actually hired for that, to follow central banks and all that. These are professional analysts. So together they make different predictions. Some say there, there will be lower, for instance, around this 1K, there may have been somebody who said the market will actually make room for maybe 210 new jobs, 210,000 jobs. And another person was going to say, or may have said, actually 150 people or 150,000 people will be hired. So on average, right, across all those professional traders, an average is calculated. They have to actually submit a document to the head of the firm and state exactly why they've done their research and come up with that figure. They have to present points and say, this is why I've come up with this figure. This is why I think the markets will only accept maybe 160,000 people, right? So these are professional analysts. So what they did, they came up on average with a figure of 180,000, saying that the United States will only hire 180,000 new people, right? From, if you look at the previous month, they had hired 292,000. So that on its own, without you knowing any forex or economics or anything, right? If you just use simple logic, the United States, say on On June, they hired 292,000 people. But on July, they hired only they're expected to hire only 180,000 people. That on its own tells you, as the forex trader, that something is wrong somewhere, right? In America, there's got to be something wrong in their economy, right? Why would they hire almost 300 people in July and hire almost half of those people in the next month, right? I mean June and July. So that tells you obviously people are expecting that there will be a fall in the value of the United States dollar because analysts are expecting negative or bad things about the economy to happen, right? So that on its own tells you that the market is rather selling the United States dollar because they believe it's going to fall. So they want to ride it down, right? They're riding the United States dollar down. So they are selling, 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 selling. Hence, if I go back to the charts, right? If I go back to, but remember, this is just based on prediction. This 255 has not been released as yet, right? We are still on the 180. The forecast is saying bad things is going to happen, right? So let's go back to our charts rather. If we get back to our charts, let's go back to our charts, right? So if we get back to the chart, you can see people are rather buying the euro and who's calling me now? Who's calling me? Who's calling me? Just 1 second, guys. Hello? Sure. Yeah. Uh, oh, on WhatsApp though. Oh, oh, okay, okay. No, I see, I see. Okay. Yeah, I do get you. But so far, are you understanding what I'm saying? Like what I'm trying to teach? Yeah, exactly, exactly. That's good, man. Okay, so let me try and see what's wrong with my WhatsApp. Let's see if I can fix that. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, let me confirm. Just hold on, don't hang up. Uh, okay, people are buying more. Please respond, Spelele. Yeah, no, I do get your message now. Okay, I do get it. Okay, okay, no problem. Just confirm, because I know there will be a delay. So far, if you're listening, what am I speaking about on your speaker? Yo. Okay, okay, no problem, man. That's fine. Yo, that's a huge delay, though. Yeah, but okay, man. No, yeah. Yeah, it's fine. Just take down notes from there, and then just post anything on WhatsApp if you still have questions. Okay, thanks, man. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. This guy was informing me that some of the messages from the WhatsApp group that is currently in are not getting through to me, and we've just confirmed that everything is actually okay so far, right? Um, okay. Actually, it's fee, so that's you can actually participate if you can understand. Okay, so sorry about that, guys. Let me try to catch up. We were still okay. I think I was showing you the live chart now. Okay, I was. Let's get back to the chart then. Okay, as I was saying, due to the expectation of the USD having a negative economy, or actually the analysts were saying there is something bad that should be expected from the market, and hence people started selling the United States dollar, right? So look at this now. Since you are a forex trader, you will be keeping your eyes open, right? You'll be keeping your eyes open. Uh, Way before these news actually come out. Well, these are big news, so uh, you should have been following this, right? But obviously, you were not introduced to this. But look at the how wonderful this is, right? Look at how wonderful this is. Okay, you could have reading this. You could have wrote this along with the market. So sell the USD as people are selling it since they expect negative news around the USD currency. So the market is actually selling the USD. So you go along and sell it, ride it up, and then just before the market news are actually released, the actual facts now, right? Because this is just a rumor. This is what analysts are predicting. So we call it a rumor because we are not sure. Even the analysts themselves are not sure. So this is called a rumor. It's just an interpretation of predictions. So since there's a bad prediction, we take it as if there's something wrong that is actually happening, which is not the case. So we sell the USD. In this case, we are selling the USD because we expect a negative outcome on it, right? So you sell it, and just before those news actually are released, which was supposed to be 2:30, right? 2:30 p.m. Okay, so just before those news are released, I prefer you exit the market at least 30 minutes before. So around 2 or even 1:30, you can exit the market because you would have made some profits from the markets right then. As you can see, the market actually moved up. So you could have made some profits just following what the market is actually interpreting. So the market is actually, it doesn't know what's actually going to happen, but it's buying the rumors. It's putting their trust on these so-called professional analysts. So that they're taking whatever they're saying and actually applying it onto the market. So that's the concept of buying the rumor. Then you come out before the actual news are released because you are not really sure what's going to be the actual outcome, right? So you then go back to your calendar now. You go back to your calendar, right? Okay, let's go back to the calendar. That's the calendar now. That's the calendar. Okay. And then when you get back to your calendar, you will notice that when you get back to the calendar, you will notice that, okay, well, at the point, all these news are already released. I mean, this was yesterday's news event, right? So it was released yesterday. So at 2:30, this figure actually appeared. It was not there before 2:30. So from 2, you would have exited the market. Then after that, you will wait and not take any trade. Just wait for these news to be actually confirmed. Because why we are saying it's a buy the rumor and sell the fact, because most of the time they are not the same. The rumor is not really the same to the what do you call this, the facts, because the market just uses their own interpretation, and most of the time, not always, but most of the time is not exactly the way the market had expected. So the rumor and the facts are different. That's why I say you should come out of the market just before the news are released and wait to see whether those news are the way the market had already expected and you have already expected. If so, then you continue with the trade. Then you enter another trade with the sell as you were selling. But if the opposite is actually true, and then you will change and say, if you were buying, you will sell, and if you are selling, you will buy. So that's the whole concept of buying the rumor and selling the facts. So just to summarize, guys, I think this is just an easy concept. You're getting, you try and see that what's actually happening, right? So if you can follow from the previous month, the United States actually hired, I'm just summarizing now, the US actually hired 292,000 people, right? And then the market expects that in July it would hire only 180,000. So you will now ask yourself, why is that? So without doing any research or using economics or anything, you just reason, right? Just use your common reasoning. If somebody is hiring more people and then in the next month hiring less people, this actually means that he either won't be able to pay as much people as he was paying the previous month, or those people he hired, or something is wrong somewhere, right? So that actually meant that the United States economy is actually falling, and hence this will affect the value of their currency very strongly. So the currency will also do the same. If the strength of the economy depletes, the value of the currency also depreciates. So people started selling the United States dollar, right? And then before that, people came out and wanted to confirm whether the markets were actually gonna release the fact that was predicted by the analysts, or Just a second, guys. Somebody is disturbing me. Okay. Yeah. So you come out before the time of the release and confirm whether the market will do as the market had expected, as the analysts had expected and predicted. If not, you change the trade, you do the opposite. That's what we mean by buying the rumor and selling the facts. You go on with the rumor before the news, take the trade, make some profits, get out before the news, confirm whether the news are the exact as predicted or the opposite. If they are the opposite, then you take the reverse. So going back to the charts now, you would have made some nice profits if you were trading like I was. Okay, so people are buying the euro and selling the USD, and then suddenly great news come out of the USD. Look at that! Look at that! So that's something I also want you to understand, right? This is what I want you to understand. The markets move very sharply if they are shocked or surprised. For instance, right here we're expecting bad news, right? We're expecting bad news from the US. So if bad news actually came out, uh, we would have seen the price shoot even higher, right? The price would have gone up, but it wouldn't have gone up as much as it has gone down. You know why? Because most of the movement had already been priced in. The market was already in expectation of a higher movement. So it started moving the price even higher way before those news were confirmed. So the market does move, but it won't move as much as it does when it is actually shocked. So these news were shocking because the market, as well as the analysts, they expected a negative figure, but then a positive figure came out. So that's a major shock to the market. Hence, this is why you see such a long candle. So you get back on your trade around 2:30, right? You see that the news are actually better or great. In fact, they are good compared to what the analysts had expected. So you reverse whatever you were. This rumor is actually not true. Then you go with the actual facts. Then you start selling and you ride the markets, and then you take whatever profits you'll be targeting. This is actually 100 pips. So on minimum, this is actually 112 pips. So you could have made roughly $110 minimum, depending on your lot size. But I would suggest, or I would presume most of you are going with $1 per pip. So you could have made just 100 or $110 in this trade alone. So then you multiply by whatever the value of the rand is, that's the amount, but that's more than 1,000 rand, that I can tell you. So just 1,000 rand in about, say, just 5 hours. Just let's just say, no, yeah, let's say, no, let's just say 1,000 rand in a day. That's fine, in a day. Uh, Not many people make that much just trading. And look, just confirm, was there anything that's difficult, something that's you could not understand? Because I think it was easy, or like it's easy to understand this concept. A negative expectation, so people are selling, and then the market actually releases better news, and those news surprise the market. So the market reverses their trades. Then you do the same. Then another 100 pips in your pockets, just like that. So wait, I said add the previous trade. On the previous trade, you could have made roughly $40 as well. So $40 and 110. So roughly $150 on this trade alone, right? Well, two trades because the we traded before the news and we traded after the news. So that was the concept of buying the rumor and selling the facts. Then next week I will make sure that I give you a notification, rather, maybe design a poster or something to show you that there will be a webinar. And next week I'll go over these news events, because it's not only NFP, there's GDP, there's interest rates, you name it, right? There are a lot of them, right? So I'll just give you an understanding of each of them, CPI, interest rates and all that. I want you to understand what they mean so that you'll be able to take advantage of these news and focus and all that, right? So yeah, I'm just gonna wait because I know there is a delay on this platform that I'm using because it's just a free platform. I'm using Google Hangouts and YouTube, of course. So I'm just gonna wait for you guys to get to where I am right now, and this is where I'll be taking. This is our Q&A session, taking questions. Just post your questions on the WhatsApp group, then I'll gladly answer them so that everyone else can understand the concept that you'll be bringing up. It could be anything about the concept we've covered, the buying, the rumor, selling, the facts concepts, or anything with regards to Forex, like basic stuff, advanced stuff, anything, just anything. Just ask me anything you would like to know, except personal things. Okay, questions. Let's wait for questions now. Okay, here's a good question that I forgot to mention. Well, it was something that I was going to cover on our next webinar, where I'll be giving a detailed explanation on each of these news events. Well, these news, this particular example that I've shown you, which is the non-farm payroll, that is a release that is made monthly by the U.S. Bureau of Statistics. It's actually released on the first Friday of every month. It's not necessarily the 5th. This month it was the 5th, but the next month, let's just confirm on what dates will be the first Friday of the month. Okay, something is wrong. Okay, something is not right. Okay, so the next on September, the first Friday will be on the second. So September 2 will be having this exact trade. Well, it won't play out exactly the way it has played out here, but it will be more or less the same thing. We'll be buying the rumor and selling the facts. You will see. That's always a major market mover. Not always, but I would say 95% of the time, this moves the markets very, 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 very drastically. So most of the money is made on this trade, and most of the money is lost on this trade. It's called NFP, one of the most famous news events among fundamental analysis traders, right? So thank you for that question, Mr. Malusi. Keep the questions coming. I'm here to answer any questions you guys may have. Let's get some questions, guys. Questions. Okay, that's another good question, Malus. Malus wants to know whether this trade will be happening in other countries like the Japan or maybe South Africa or any other currencies like any other foreign currencies. Well, the answer to that question, Malus, is that NFP is actually a US based news release, which means that it's only a release or a news event that takes place in the United States, right? Only the United States, since they are the main economy. The USD is the global reserve currency. So it means, by that I mean, like um, you will uh, learn a concept of the petrodollar or goods being priced in terms of dollars. For instance, when you want to buy oil, petrol, or gold or whatever, it's priced in dollars because the USD is actually the main currency or the global currency, global reserve currency. You will learn more about that as we go along. But since the USD is the global reserve currency, their economy is the main economy that everybody else is watching out, because countries like uh, Iraq or Saudi Arabia or all the countries that are the OPEC countries that are selling oil to survive. Like for instance, Canada is a major oil exporter, right? So since oil will be sold in the USD, the the price of oil, it will be affected by the United States economy, right? Which means that all other countries that have, it doesn't have to be oil specifically. It could be petrol, it could be gold, or any other commodities that are priced in USDs. So this means that the USA is the main economy that all the other countries are dependent on, right? So this is why there is in the market those news only exclusive to the United States, and this was a classic example of that. The NFP is just a news release that is only available uh, in United States, and people all over the world are watching this very vividly. So this is why you see such a major movement, because everybody is watching this and they all go in as the news are released, right? Major firms, hedge funds, commercial banks, everybody is trading this, right? This is big news in Forex actually, right? So yeah, that was a good question. If anybody else has another question, I'll be happy to answer. Any question at all. It doesn't have to be exactly on this, but any questions at all. Do we still have questions? If there are no more questions, guys, then uh, shall we call it a night? Because izandla zidlula ekhanda. Nice. Okay. I guess people are actually impressed. That's wonderful. So if there are no more questions, if there are no more questions, so okay, if there are no more questions, guys, then um, I guess we shall call it a night. But okay, just one more thing, maybe. I don't know if I should tell you now or, but yeah, on the 27th of this month, it will be my birthday, right? And I'm gonna be on the 27th of this month. I'm gonna be launching my website, right? I'm going to be launching my website and what else? Well, it's going to be a formal business launch, right? We're going to be launching the website. We're going to be talking about the BTI investments, which I urge you all to be part of, right? We're making 35% a month consistently for every people that invest. For everyone, guys, just go out there. Uh, while you learning how to trade, you can also invest some of your capital with us, so that when you're ready, you have money waiting for you to start training, right? To start the actual trading. 35% a month is not a joke. Look at our growth table. If you think I'm kidding, right? So yeah, we're going to be talking about that as well as the website, basically how you'll be using it. The Yeah, let's just say for now, I'm gonna update you all about the website and where the launch will take place and all that stuff. But for now, let me just say thank you all for attending. I hope you learned something. That was a very important concept, and it alone can make you uh, very profitable in trading, because you can just follow these news events and try and understand how the market interprets them, trade along with the markets, get out before the news is released, confirm whether the market was right. If it was wrong, do the opposite, and you are making consistent profits just using this concept alone. So yeah, thank you all for attending this webinar. Next time, please invite your friends, add more people. Let's just get the circle growing, guys. Let's get the circle growing. Because for me, it's just knowledge. So sharing it is not really a big deal, right? So yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna be talking about my forex workshops as well, because I'm gonna be doing city to city forex workshops. I'm just gonna be training 100 people per city, only taking 100 people, and that's just 1,500 rands. Basically, it's just for accommodation, because we'll be doing most of these workshops in hotels where you will be getting food and beverages. Just so it's for that. Usually, none of the money I get from these workshops is actually coming to my pocket because uh, it's very expensive to hire these hotels as well. It's just knowledge sharing, experience for you guys, as well as growing our circle as BTI. So from me till next time, keep well, guys. I hope you had a great insight on this. Stay blessed. More peeps to you, and tell people about BTI investments. Tell people about BTI. Tell people about our professional forex trading course, or which I commonly referred to as the PFTC. Tell people about, just go out there and tell people, man, you'll be rewarded. So yeah, thanks, man. Uh, Ladies and gentlemen, sorry. So let's call it a night. It's 10 o'clock already. We've spent about just around 2 hours, less than 2 hours though, about 1.5 hours. So we spent some time together. So keep well, guys. Thanks, man. I'm gonna close it now. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.